guys, welcome back to my channel. I'm Yuvia. Just in case if you're new to my channel, welcome. Make sure to subscribe down below, like this video if you do enjoy it. And today I'm going to be talking about the time someone tried breaking in our house, and they actually almost did because they kind of broke the door a bit from the bottom. But anyways, this story happened like 2 years ago, I think. Yeah, it's been a while since it happened, but I thought it would be a good idea to talk about it since it was kind of interesting, you know. So this all started 2 years ago, like I said, and what happened was, I remember around that time I was like really sick, so I would wake up in the middle of the night and like cough and like go to the bathroom and like get tissues and stuff. And yeah, so that night I remember like laying down on my bed and then like sitting up, and I remember like coughing. And then I heard someone knock on the door. It was like 3 a.m. It was like midnight. So I wasn't sure who it was, and I wasn't even sure if someone actually did knock or not. So I ignored it, and I didn't think it was actually someone knocking. I thought it was maybe just some random noise in the kitchen or living room. So I laid down, and then a bit later I heard another knock. And that's when I was like, oh, someone is knocking, but I was kind of scared because, you know, it was really late. It's 3 a.m. and someone was knocking at the door. Like, who could be knocking at your door in the middle of the night? So I remember getting out of my bed like really quiet. Sorry for my phone. And I remember my parents' room and telling them that someone was knocking on the door. And they're like, yeah, I heard that too. I think it was my mom. So they got up and they like went to go peek through the little, like, because the door has a little hole in it so you can see who's on the other side. So they peeked through the hole, and they're like we don't know who this is. It's a guy. He was like, but we didn't know who he was at all. So we were like, we didn't open the door because why are we gonna open the door to someone knocking at our house that we don't even know? So we didn't open the door, and my mom, like, she just said, be quiet, don't talk, and like don't make any noise because we don't want him to know we're in the house. The guy kept knocking and knocking and knocking, and then after a while I think he got frustrated that nobody was answering the door, so he started yelling, started saying, open the door please. We all think, like our whole family think that guy was like high, or like he had been drinking that night, because he thought we were his family. He thought that's where his house was, because he would be like, open the door, come on. And then he would say like a name that we didn't know who it was. So I think he thought that was his house, so he was probably high or like drunk or something. Then after that he kept yelling like louder, and then he would like kick the door, the bottom of the door, like really hard. And we were like kind of scared because we were like, he's gonna open the door, because I mean, we lived in these apartments where like the door was like a wooden door, so it wasn't like, it was hard to get in, but it wasn't easy. I remember him knocking, and then he would like, for like 5 minutes he would disappear, and he would go like down the hallway, and we wouldn't hear of him like for some 5 minutes, and then he would come back and knock at our door again and like keep kicking it. He got even more frustrated that we weren't opening the door after he kept calling our name, or not our names, but it was someone's name that we didn't know who it was. He started yanking the doorknob and like trying to open it or like break it or something. I remember him like going into his pocket or something. I got scared at the moment. I was like, whoa, he's not about to pull out a gun. He actually went into his pocket and he got like a little dime or quarter or something, and he pulled it out. You know where the key goes, like to open the door? He started grabbing the little coin, and he like kept like trying to open the door. I remember my parents and my brother, we were pretty sure like the guy was gonna come in somehow, like break the door or something. So they were all pushing on the door like really hard. Like, it was really scary. And my baby sister, she was like a couple months old at that time. Babies wake up at night and cry, so that was like my biggest fear. I was like, please, like, God, please don't let my sister wake up, because then she's gonna start crying and the guy's gonna hear someone's inside the house, right? I grabbed her because I didn't want to risk her waking up and start crying. So I grabbed her from the bed and I started like rocking her, just trying to make her like not wake up, you know. Sometimes the guy would knock like really loud, like extra knock really loud sometimes, that my sister would like, she would go like, she would like make a little small noise or something, and that's when I was like really scared, and I would like try rocking her even more so she could go back to sleep. So the guy kept yanking and yanking the door and kicking it and trying to open it and break it. I remember this lasted like an hour. After like that hour passed of him trying to break in, because we didn't call the cops right away because we thought he was just gonna like leave since he was drunk. We didn't think he was actually gonna stay there and try to open it. So my brother went into the closet. So he went to the room and inside the closet so the guy wouldn't hear, and he called 911, right? I was so mad that night because the police actually took like an hour to arrive at her house. I remember seeing one cop arrive like 1 hour later, maybe 40 minutes later, and because I was in the other room, I could see through the window. I was so scared in the room. I even grabbed like, it was a glass or something. It was really big and kind of heavy, and like I had my sister on this hand like rocking her, and I had a glass here, and I was like, just in case he comes in, I'm gonna smash this on his head so he faints her. The police got there. They went upstairs because we lived on the very top floor, which was the 3rd floor. They told them, they're like, what are you doing here? This is not your house. And he's like, he started acting innocent. He was like, oh, I thought this was my house. Because my apartments have like a lot of buildings, so he thought that was his building. I think he must have mistaken it for another building. Till this day, we're not sure why the cops did not arrest him directly to his house, because the cops, all they did, got there, asked him what he was doing, and told him that was not his house. And the guy said okay, and he left. The cops literally let the guy leave. They didn't even take him anywhere after he was trying to break into our house. That does not make any sense. We seen the guy walking like away to another building, and the cops stayed there like until he left. And the cops a bit later called my brother, and they're like,
okay, we handled the situation, the guy's gone. Like, you guys did not handle that situation correctly, because you guys just let the random guy that was trying to break into a house go. That doesn't make sense. But that's exactly what they did, and after that day, we've never heard about the guy. He never came back to our house or anything, so that's good. But anyways, if he did, we don't live there anymore. We moved. And yeah, that was like a really, really scary night for me, because I actually thought he was gonna come in, and he had a knife with him, because we remember him trying, like, scratching the door too, because after he left the next day, we opened the door, and like the bottom of the door was kind of like kicked in. And oh yeah, I forgot a part. That guy, oh my god, that guy peed on our door. He peed on our, and my dad did say that he seen the guy like peeing, you know, but yeah. It was a really scary night. I really hope that never happens. And if it's happened to you, make sure to comment down below your story, because I really want to hear it, because that was really scary for me, to be honest. And I never want to experience that again.
So yeah, this is gonna do it for my story time. I really hope you guys enjoyed this video. Make sure to like and subscribe down below if you're new, and also
subs. I'm so happy and excited. I finally reached, yeah. It's not a lot, but it's 100, you know, I'm starting. So yeah, thanks for 100 subs.
Thank you so much for watching, and see you next time. Love you guys, bye.
Pretend no more, nothing can stay the same. You ruin me in a beautiful way. You ruin me in a beautiful way. I can't pretend no more, nothing can stay the same. You